Sportscast, April 23rd, 2020, NFL Draft. That's what it means. And we have a first-round draft. Breaking news, CeeDee Lamb is going to the Cowboys. What a catch for the Cowboys. Joining us tonight, Kylu Borden and Justin Riley. Welcome to the Sportscast with this news, a huge news update.
Yeah, that's a pretty big update. I'm glad to be here. One, two, wasn't expecting Cowboys to go receiver at that pick. Interesting.
Kylu, you're a Cowboys, well, not a Cowboys fan, sorry, but you know a whole lot about the Cowboys. What does this mean to you?
I think it's very big for the Cowboys. I wasn't able to beat that number 2. That's a really good get.
Justin, why does CeeDee Lamb at the bottom to number 17? He could have picked, been up at number 12 or 13.
Well, honestly, I kind of felt like that's where he was going to ultimately go, but we had some teams make some interesting moves. What really caught me off guard was San Francisco. I thought, we've been hearing for the past several weeks, receiver. That was the piece to the Super Bowl championship, and then they just lost a receiver to the Saints. And so they're going to be CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, but it was neither. They went defensive tackle, and it's CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jeudy went where I could go, and that was with the Broncos. And here's an interesting selection by the Cowboys getting some help for Amari Cooper. That allowed Cooper to do a whole lot more and free him up and take some pressure off of him. So it is a good pick. Honestly, I thought they were going to go defense, mainly safety, and my pick in my mind was Xavier McKinney.
Let's go into the most important picks of the night so far. Is Tua Tagovailoa going at 5 and Herbert at 6. Let's go with Tua. Justin, we were both, like the whole Sportscast crew was going back and forth. We were kind of solidifying Herbert on Tuesday. And for me, I've been hearing like these past couple hours, Tua was going to Miami. Durability wasn't an issue. What were your first thoughts?
Well, the past several weeks, we have been led to believe that Miami really wasn't that high on Tua Tagovailoa. And it was believed it was more of a lean towards Justin Herbert. However, it wasn't until several hours ago where the Tua to Miami talk began to really get stronger. And it was led to believe that that's where he would land. Honestly, I thought that he'd probably end up with the Chargers. I thought it would be a better fit for him. I thought that he'd have a better situation, as far as weapons and whatnot than he would in Miami. But it looks like, after all, he is headed to Miami, and he's going to be the christened savior of the franchise to hopefully resurrect it to glory days. But to be honest with you, in order to do that, they're going to have to get a lot of help for him.
The Miami was very tight-lipped about it for the past couple of weeks. We weren't sure where they were going. It was 50-50 for the most part. Then we've been hearing strong rumors about Herbert. Kylu, were you surprised about this pick, or you thought this would have happened?
No, actually, I was not very surprised. I thought the Miami Dolphins, a lot of times teams leak information to catch people off guard. I thought it was Tua all along. Because the Dolphins really 23 picks in the next 2 years. I thought they were going to go with Tua all along. I thought the Herbert news was just smoke screens trying to catch teams off guard, so to make sure that teams don't drop them ahead. But I thought it was going to be Tua all along, personally.
Herbert going to 6th spot, Justin, obviously, that was a big possibility where Herbert would have gone. There were no trades either. There was no trades between 1 and 12. Is that a good spot for Herbert?
Well, I think so, and I think people, including Chargers fans, and definitely our own Ty Turner, are pretty excited that that's where he'll be landing. I think he's a very smart kid, tremendous upside, gifted athletically. I mean, he's 6'5", just so smart, and I just think that he's going to be a guy that's going to stick around for a while. Not really sure if he's going to play right away. Maybe if he's going to be asked to kind of step back and be groomed by Tyrod Taylor and then kind of come in when he's supposed to. But if he's asked to come on the field right away, then he's in a good situation. He's got some good talent around him. And I think that it's a good fit. You know, he's a West Coast guy. He stays in Pac-12 country, so he's familiar. He's comfortable. I think this is a good thing for Justin Herbert and the Chargers.
Kylu, Joe Burrow, going first. Not much of a whole surprise. Chase Young. What were your thoughts about those first two picks?
I thought it was very expected. The first defensive player drafted in 2020 was Chase Young, 2019 Nick Bosa, 2018 Denzel Ward, 2016 Joey Bosa. I wasn't really surprised. Washington really needed to address their defense, so I wasn't really surprised. And Joe Burrow in 2019, 76% completion percentage overall, 79% against man first, 77 against zone, 73 against the blitz, 77 against standard rush, 72 in pressures, 79 against the pocket, 81 between the numbers, 58% on deep routes, 78% when trailing, which is all first. So I wasn't really surprised. Hometown kids in both, so I wasn't really surprised by that.
Justin Riley, your boy Ruggs got drafted first before Judy. What were your thoughts?
He did, and, well, I expected him to go. I had that in my mock draft. However, the teams didn't align, but Henry Ruggs was selected first overall as far out of the receiver group and definitely out of the Alabama group. And he's an excellent kid. Tremendous speed, great tools, great route running, has great hands. If you go back and you look at the tape at Alabama, he had rarely any drops, maybe one or two. And majority of the touches he had, I believe he had 98 receptions during his career at Alabama, and 24 of those touches were touchdowns. So he's a guy who is a playmaker. He's not a deep threat, but he's a guy who's going to take off and take it to the house. He's going to catch a slant and just abuse coverage and take a yard. So he's a very exciting player. He's somebody that Gruden really likes or embodies what Gruden likes, and that's speed, and that's what the Raiders need. And the Raiders need a playmaker right now to take pressure off of Josh Jacobs. And I think it's pretty exciting that the former teammates are going to be reunited, and I'm really excited to see that those two guys and what they're going to be able to do against the defenses in the AFC. And it's going to be really dependent on how good it's going to be on the quarterback situation. So that's one thing to watch there. But glad the Alabama boys are reuniting. And like I said, Ruggs first off the board. It was to be expected for me.
Not surprised. Were you surprised about that, Kylu?
I wasn't really surprised by Ruggs going to the Raiders. Obviously, the AFC West is making a lot of noise to keep up with Patrick Mahomes. The Broncos went with Gerald Judy. The Raiders went with Henry Ruggs. So it's just, for me, it's more about keeping up with the AFC West. Gerald Judy and routes in the last 2 years on go routes, 10 touchdowns, on slant 6, on post 3, screens and quicks 3, out 1, and corner 1. So, I mean, Henry Ruggs averaged 25.3 yards per catch behind the line of scrimmage. That led all Power 5 players. So, no real surprise by me. They're keeping up with the Chiefs. I mean, great offenses. They need to be able to score points in that division.
Breaking news, Justin. Austin Jackson from USC, offensive tackles, going to the Dolphins at the 18th pick.
That actually was who I picked on my mock draft.
No way. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, man. I didn't get a lot of them right, but, the ones I did get right, I am going to claim victory over. So, and that's a need for the Dolphins. They've got to protect Tua. That's the most important thing. The glaring the biggest topic of discussion is durability. That's what everybody's been talking about until we're tired of it, and we are tired of it, by the way. So, but having a good offensive line is where it starts. You've got to protect your investment here. A lot of people thought that Jackson may be a reach here because he's just so raw, and he has a lot he needs to work on, but he has a tremendous upside. Hopefully he'll be able to meet that expectation and become that player that people are expecting. I know Tua Tagovailoa is hoping it's going to turn out that way.
Now, with Austin Jackson, do you think there's still a lot of holes to be filled, Kylu?
I think there's some holes that need to be filled, but this was the last of the second to third tier offensive line for a while. much I think is good, you obviously have to protect Tua. So you got to do whatever you can to do that. So I think that this is definitely a need that they needed. So it's just good for them.
Justin, Javon Kinlaw went to the Niners. Oh wait, go ahead, Justin. And
well,
go ahead, finish that
one
thought.
of the other needs I feel like, sticking with the Dolphins, I think one of the other needs that they really need to address is running back. They really don't have that dynamic guy back there. Of course, you know that they traded Kenyon Drake to the Cardinals, who really took off well and finished the season strong. They need someone in the backfield who's going to be able to take pressure off of Tua and add another weapon for him. So in the second round, we got to keep a watch on the Dolphins to see what direction they go. Maybe J.K. Dobbins, maybe Cam Akers, a Florida boy. So that would be a good fit there.
I mean, I don't expect Tua to start this season. I think I've been hearing a lot, that he'll be sitting at the bench. Kailu, do you expect him to start this year, or do you think he'll just sit out?
We know what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. I mean, he's been on 8 teams. I don't expect him to start right away, even though he's been medically cleared. There's a lot of good medical reports that came out. An independent doctor in Tennessee really cleared him and said for anybody that's had a hip injury in the past 5 years, in the past, from 5 months, he said he looked really well. So I don't expect him to start right away. But if the Dolphins get off to a struggling start, the fans are going to be calling for Tua. I don't expect them to win that more games, even though they did finish the season strong. They finished at 5-11. I don't expect them to start right away. But if they're struggling by the middle of the season, there definitely going to be a lot of calls for him to be out there, especially if he's healthy. But I do not expect him to start right away, and I don't think it would be wise for him to start in week 1.
Justin, you think the Dolphins should have got A.J. Espinoza instead?
Yeah, well, they need help up front defensively, so that would have been a solid pick for them. I got no problem with that move at all if they were to select him. Of course, Dolphins have holes all over the place. They've got to be filled in order for them to get back to being a relevant team, not only in their division but in the NFL as a whole. But he's a big, strong guy out of Iowa that can do a lot of big and nasty things, and he's very disruptive, and that's a good place to start in repairing the defensive line.
Jerry Jeudy. What a pick for Jerry Jeudy, which I got to pull up my picks here. But he was selected in the 14th. Was it
15th?
15th with
Denver
Broncos. How about that fit?
It's a fit. It's a perfect marriage. It's what Denver wanted. They need a big time receiver. John Elway made a great decision finally in the draft, and he got a weapon for his young quarterback. Yeah, exactly. About time, because I've been really questioning his decision making the past few years, especially at quarterback and other positions. However, he wins the day right now in the first round. Gets a dynamic receiver, gets a guy that can just change the flow of a game. Great route runner, of course, that's beating into us nonstop. Great hands, elusive. He's very elusive. He can break ankles any time. And he can be physical at times too. I know he's got a small frame. That's one knocks against him. And I think some coaches probably wish he wouldn't be too physical because of that. But you got to like his fire. You got to like his passion. He's a hard and great fit there for Denver. They took care of a great need.
Breaking news: Raiders at number 19 select Ohio State cornerback Arnett.
Man, I wasn't expecting that.
Amon Arnett, early.
I like the pick actually because with Ruggs going to the Raiders, with the receivers in Kansas City, with the receivers that they have, the Legion of Zoom, and the Broncos bringing up Gerald Jeudy, they're going to need to have somebody to cover. So,
Damon Arnett, pretty early, right, Justin?
Yeah, that is pretty early.
But that's typical Raiders. They kind of pick random players like that.
Well, we've had a couple of reaches here. Terrell earlier by the Falcons.
Yeah, no.
definitely would have been available in the second round. I'm not knocking him at all. I just feel like there are other defensive backs that are better on the board. Trayvon Diggs is still out there, which I expected him to go to the Raiders, but he's still on the board. Xavier McKinney's still on the board. So I'm kind of, not concerned. I'm just kind of scratching my head.
What do you think, Kylo?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a reach, but I think with Kansas City, the weapons that they have, and Judy going to the Broncos, I just think that it's a situation where they're trying to just slow down the offense. I think it's a bit of a reach for me personally, but they're just trying to draft corners to make sure that, that they're able to stop the offense. But I do agree. I think it's a bit of a reach at that spot.
Twitter is going crazy right now, Justin, over that pick for the Raiders.
And I have no doubt about that right now. And the Raiders deserve every bit of attention right now from their fans because of it. It's a reach. It's something you don't really think that is a good decision right now. Of course, we're just amateurs here, but on paper, like I said, there are other players that are graded higher than him right now. Especially for me, it's Trayvon Diggs, and I think that he would have been a perfect fit there.
So where do you think he'll go now?
Not so much. Well, it looks like Trayvon may end up being with the Vikings, which a lot of people were projecting him to go to.
Wow, so things are panning out. Things have a way of working out. So, would not be surprised if he lands there. However, he may wind up with Philly as well. So, the next two picks are going to be very interesting to watch. Which next is the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll go there. I mean, what do the Jaguars need? They were at the 9th pick, and they got Henderson, C.J. Henderson, a defender, cornerback. What's going to happen in the 20th pick for the Jaguars?
I mean, it's tough because you really don't know which direction the Jaguars are going. But for me, they probably could go receiver. But it's really tough with the Jaguars because you don't know which direction that they're thinking about going based on what they have done with their offseason moves.
Justin, possibly a Jordan Love pick, or do you don't think they're going to head that direction?
I don't think they're going to head that direction. I think Jordan Love would be there in the second round, to be honest with you.
No way.
He's going to slip out of the first.
You're saying that right now.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think the Patriots will take him?
I think bold prediction. I think either the Patriots are going to take him, or I think one of those NFC teams that are in the playoffs. I could see Green Bay doing it because Aaron Rodgers is 36 and he's had 2 collarbones. So I could see Green Bay, him sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for a couple of years. And if he developed early, I could see them trading that quarterback away.
Justin?
Yeah, I could see that, or possibly going to Tennessee. So because we don't know exactly how Ryan Tannehill's going to pan out.
Justin, you have. Okay, breaking news: Jaguars has taken LSU defensive end Clivon Chason.
That's a good pick. He was going to be taken a lot earlier than this. I had him going to Atlanta, but they got Terrell instead. But Clivon Chason is an absolute grown man, a disruptor, a guy that is what the Jaguars desperately need right now. Their defense is just really a wreck, and this is a good way to kind of right that ship. I like him, very athletic, just a freak, and good job, Jaguars.
Good job, right? What do you think, Kailu?
Yeah, I like the pick. He's very physical, and they lost Calais Campbell, so that's definitely an upgrade for him.
I forgot about that guy, Justin.
I didn't because he is with the Ravens right now. But the thing is, right now, the running joke is nobody wants to be with the Jaguars. So they got to fill the holes because nobody wants to be there.
So is Minshew the quarterback for Jacksonville going forward, Kailu?
No, I think he's going to have to be the quarterback because I think all the other teams have quarterbacks, and I think there's a big hole with the quarterbacks that will already take Joe Burrow, Tua all got taken, and Justin Herbert. So I definitely think he's going to have to be the quarterback going into training camp and when the season starts.
The next pick will be the Eagles. Justin, what do you think is going to happen there? Do you think they'll go offense or they go defense?
It really could go either way. They have a need on both sides of the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if they went Trayvon Diggs right here.
But there are some receivers that may be available. Maybe Brandon Ayuk. They need some receiver help right now.
Or T. Higgins.
Jalen Rieger. Oh, it has been talked about, and I got chastised for it in our mock draft the other night because it's a bit of a reach. But from what I've read, throughout the weeks, that's a name that they like. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do take him. But like I said, there are other receivers available right now. Jalen Rieger at TCU or Brandon Ayuk. So good choices available. Maybe Claypool. We don't know.
Kylu, what direction you think the Eagles will take?
I think 1,000% Howie Roseman is going offense here. I mean, Carson Wentz's 3 best receivers got hurt last year, and he made do with Greg Ward Jr. as his top target and still end up winning the division against the Cowboys. So I definitely think that they're going to go offense here, and I definitely think this is where Howie Roseman makes his money. He's definitely going to go receiver here.
The next 2 picks are the Eagles, Vikings, and the third pick will be the Patriots. Jordan Love at number 23. I think that's very possible. The last quarterback available. The best quarterback, of the bunch.
I think knee-jerk reaction, you probably would want to pick him, but to be honest with you, I think they need to get help on the defensive line a lot more than picking Jordan Love. I think they're going to be just fine at quarterback right now.
Yeah.
With Stidham, I think you need to let that scenario play out, and if it doesn't work, look to next year's draft. We have Trevor Lawrence available. But to be honest with you, I got a hunch in the 3rd round that New England will end up going with Jake Fromm at quarterback.
Kylu, Packers are the 30th. What are you crossing your fingers for?
Now I'm hoping Jordan Love falls to us so we can have a succession plan like we did with Brett Favre and Rodgers.
This early?
Jordan Love falls to us.
Really?
No. Aaron Rodgers is 36. I'm not saying he's retiring anytime soon, but it's better to have a succession plan in place because he has hurt his collarbone for the last 3 years. So it will be great for Green Bay to, just in case I don't think we saw a decline last year. I think he was more following the team and Matt LaFleur in that system. Aaron Jones had a breakout. Yeah, I think it was more had to do with the team. But, he is 36 years old, and, it can't hurt you taking a quarterback, And if he happens to develop sooner than we think, we can always trade him.
What do you think, Justin?
I have to agree with him because you can't wait until it's too late to take care of a quarterback situation. Is Aaron Rodgers on the way out? No, but he doesn't have as many years in front of him as he has behind him. So you definitely have to start thinking to the future because you can't get in a situation again where if he gets hurt, what are you going to do? Who are you confident behind him that's going to be able to take over? So you really do need to have a succession plan, and this is a time you got to start putting that into place. And picking Jordan Love wouldn't be a bad idea, and letting him be groomed by one of the best to ever play the game. Work out the negatives that are glaring, like some of his decision making. Clean that up a little bit and just take the time just to really learn and be coached.
Another team that is also probably is looking for a succession plan is the New Orleans Saints. They're at the 24th pick. Justin, you have Jordan Love in your last mock draft going there. Do you think that that's still a possibility?
I think it is a possibility just because they need a succession plan just as Green Bay needs one. They really need one a lot more just because it's time. The time is now. Drew Brees is agreed to one more year, and to be honest with you, I don't know if he's going to agree to another one. So you've got to have something in place. And we don't really know if anyone who's behind him is going to be the guy. So they got to start figuring things out in a fast way.
Kylu, what do you think about?
Honestly,
go ahead, Justin. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, if they don't go quarterback with Love there, then you got to go Queen and help that defense out even more. Even though it is pretty stunning the way it is, but having that extra help would be very nice.
Yeah, which Tyler has Patrick Queen going to the Saints in his mock draft. Kylu, the Saints, who do you think they'll get?
I think they could definitely go linebacker here. I would go maybe Patrick Queen, maybe Kenneth Murray here. but I would definitely think that they should go with those two here.
Well,
Maybe a corner, maybe Diggs here if they want.
anyways, the draft is going on. I want to share my emotions, my sentiments when I saw Tua join the Dolphins. I was really ecstatic because Herbert, I wasn't 100%, or Tua, I was 100%, but I was getting more convinced this past day that, even though Tua has issues with his hip and his durability, but I think he was the right guy. I think we'll figure out how, we will figure out like a plan for him to stay healthy, some way, somehow, obviously, to protect him. But what was your feelings, Justin? I mean, were you happy that he was picked that high? Because, there was rumors of him going into, the teens.
Santiago, were you truly ecstatic? Because throughout the past several weeks, man, you just weren't completely sold out to Tua. You were actually kind of nervous about him. So are you truly ecstatic about having him?
I am excited, because
Didn't Justin Jefferson?
Okay, Eagles, breaking news, Eagles take Jalen Rieger. What do you think about that, Justin?
That's a good pick. Now, with Justin Jefferson still available, I'm kind of surprised you don't take him first. But Rieger is one of the highly regarded receivers in the draft right now. Blazing speed, work on his drops a little bit, but has an enormous upside, and he definitely is a threat down the field.
Kailu, thoughts on Eagles getting Jalen Rieger at number 21?
Yeah, I think it's a really good pick for them. They need team speed, and a lot of their receivers were veteran receivers. They brought them back from the championship core after they won the championship with Nick Foles. So I definitely think it's a lot good for them to get younger because they saw it. Nelson Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey, even though they were good in the Super Bowl run, they dropped a lot of passes and they were hurt. So I definitely think it's time for them to get younger. Letting Jason Peters go, they're gonna have Andre Dillard start. So I definitely think it's time for them to get younger in that space.
Good for the Eagles. Good for Pennsylvania. So back to my thoughts about when I saw Tua getting selected. I was, I did have a heart. Maybe it should be Tua. It was like maybe it should be him. But I was excited. How about you, Justin? I mean, obviously, I know you've been saying that the Dolphins is a little bit crazy, but I know they're heading into the right direction. They're trying to organize themselves, and which it could have been worse for Tua. He could have gone to Jacksonville.
Yeah, he could have. That could have been way worse. Out of the, I guess, project teams right now, Cincinnati, Miami, the Chargers, Jacksonville, definitely, I would say, out of all those, I feel like Miami probably is in a better position. I feel like they're making a progressive move upward. I feel like you're seeing that. I think they got some good people in place. I like Brian Flores. I think he's a heck of a coach. And if you really give him what he needs to get going, I think that you're going to be really pleased. I'm excited that Tua got drafted high, and all the negative talk and all the gossip and all the
negativity,
the Eeyore talk about him dropping because of his health, because of his durability. Oh my gosh, these injuries, they weren't talked about, have surfaced. He's gonna break as soon as a leaf falls on him. You know what? It's all silence now. We don't have to hear any more of it. I'm excited he got drafted high. I'm a little nervous that he's coming into a rebuilding situation because he really doesn't have a whole lot of weapons around him or security around him, as to say if he would have dropped low, like some people were speculating or you're trying to get us to believe. I would have loved to see him go to a situation like New England or like New Orleans, where he could have learned behind Drew Brees and not be necessarily rushed to be the guy right away. And then when it's his time to take the reins, he's got some serious dudes behind him. He's got, Kamara. He's got Michael Thomas. He's got a good offensive line. He also has a great defense. I thought that would have been great. But Tua was put where he is for a reason, and I'm excited for him. Couldn't be happier for him.
Tua's Twitter profile says, it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for them that love him. 1 Corinthians 2:9. Tua is really excited. He's got in. Amen. He's made it. He didn't, he did not participate in a combine. He did a private pro day with Trent Dilfer, which was a very good which is a very convincing video actually. Kailu, the New York Giants got Andrew Thomas. What are your thoughts over that?
I think it's very good for the Giants. It's not the sexy pick that they wanted. You want a skill position, you want a receiver, but I definitely think it's great for them. You need to protect Daniel Jones. I don't think he's ready to start right away at left tackle. I think he starts more at right tackle just to get him used, and maybe Nate Soldier can mentor him. I don't think he'll be ready to start at left tackle, but in a couple years, I think that'll be good for them. You have to protect Daniel Jones and your investment in Saquon Barkley. So this is definitely a good step in the right direction. Dave Gettleman is a terrific pick by him.
Justin, Panthers get Derek Brown. What do you think about that pick?
That's a really good pick. I honestly thought that Isaiah Simmons was going to go there because it takes care of a big need at linebacker. Just lost their perennial All-Pro, Luke Kuechly. And they also have a need up front in the defensive line. And, man, did they pick a monster, a guy that can eat up blocks and then pick guys up and move them like they're virtually nothing. This is a guy that is just so strong and so physical. Hey, it's like watching a WWE wrestler like the Big Show going against a midget. It's unfair. And that's what the Carolina Panthers are really excited about, because they're taking care of a defensive need. And I'll tell you, there's going to be some hell to pay when these run backs try to come through those gaps.
Kailu, Isaiah Simmons, Andrew Thomas going to the Cardinals. What are your thoughts about wait, no, sorry, I got this mixed up. Isaiah Simmons going to the Cardinals. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I agree. I like it. In the time I said I expect the Panthers to take Simmons, or maybe they could go Derek Brown here. So I was very happy with the pick. I mean, they could have went with Simmons to replace Luke Kuechly, but this is really good. They need a pick at defense, so it doesn't hurt them either way, but it's good for them.
The Vikings have two more picks, 22 and 25, Justin. Should they use that wisely?
Well, if they want to get anywhere, they better.
Dolphins? Yeah, go ahead.
Now,
on the clock, the Patriots. Coming up. We'll close the show with the Patriots when they announce.
Okay.
They get – Patriots are trading – they're trading. The Vikings pick is in. The Patriots are trading. Hold on. Patriots starting center David Andrews, who missed announcements. Okay. Keep going, Justin, about the Vikings.
What we got here? Man?
Okay, right now the Vikings are like their pick is in. The Patriots are trading, sources said. So the Vikings are going to make a pick, and I think the Patriots are going to trade.
Take Justin Jefferson.
What was that?
Chris Carter saying take Justin. Chris Carter saying take Justin Jefferson.
The Patriots are going to trade down?
We got some intrigue here, man.
Yeah, I'm here live tweeting here.
What we got?
Okay, Vikings take Justin Jefferson. What do you think about that, Justin?
I honestly didn't feel like he would be here at this point, but you know what? You got to take the best guy available, and he's pretty dang good. He dominated the field at LSU. Incredible year as opposed to last year. He's a guy who just made people look silly. He's a game changer. And that's what the Vikings need right now, just lost Diggs. So this is the next man up. And this guy is about as talented as they come. And just because he is, the fourth or fifth receiver taken doesn't mean there's any loss in value. We just have so many good receivers this year. And this guy's a stud. So good job on the Vikings. Next thing they need to do is take care of a defensive back. And they should be set in this first round.
Kailu, the Patriots trade their pick number 23 for the Chargers, 37 and 71. What are they trying to do here?
I think they're just trying to accumulate more picks. I think they need to get more overall team speed, as we saw in the matchups against the Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. And losing Kyle Van Noy, I think they really need to get some team speed. So I think they're just trying to trade down to accumulate more picks and address the team speed issue on defense.
Justin, no Jordan Love going to the Patriots.
No, Jordan Love going to the Patriots. I didn't think he'd go there anyway.
Threw that rumor away.
I think Patriots are going to go a different direction. I think the defensive line, if they are going to go quarterback in this draft, it's going to be in the third round.
Jalen Hurts?
Like I said, possibly, but like I said, my hunch is Jake Fromm. I just feel like he fits that mold. Yeah, I feel like he fits that mold of what Belichick likes in quarterbacks. He's a winner. He's a hard worker. Doesn't really have much as far as the arm goes, but he's just a guy who can get it done. And I think a lot of unfair criticism was thrown his way this past couple of years when it really wasn't completely his fault. He really didn't have a whole lot of help receiver-wise. So, but he did the best he could, and he's a solid guy, and he could eventually end up being a starter in the league.
Kylu, where do you think Hurts will go? Jalen Hurts.
I think he'll probably go maybe the second or third round, but I definitely think that teams are gonna. Somewhere after Jacob Eason goes, I think he'll go probably after that. So.
Wow, what do you think about that, Justin?
Well, Mel Kiper does have Eason rated ahead of Jalen Hurts, which I kind of disagree with that. I think Jalen Hurts brings more value to the table because he's a versatile quarterback. He's getting better as far as his passing ability, but he also adds that extra element of his legs. And one of the things I really like several things I like about Jalen Hurts is that he's a phenomenal leader. He's a hard worker. He's always looking to get better. If he fails, he uses that as motivation and makes a video about it. But one of the things I really like about Jalen is when he steps on the field, regardless of the circumstances, you feel like that his team has a chance and that they're going to win. He's just a guy that's a winner, and he's going to get it done. And he did that several times, most notably for us against Georgia in the SEC Championship a couple of seasons ago. I just feel like that having those things gives him the edge over a Jacob Eason.
Definitely something to look at. Obviously, it's probably between Jake Fromm, Jalen Hurts, and Eason. Those three are kind of in the same level. You think, Kylu?
Yeah, I think that I like Jalen Hurts, and I think he's the ultimate competitor, but I think Jacob Eason is a little better than him, even though he's kind of inconsistent. And I like Jalen Hurts' ability to run the ball. I just think Jacob Eason is a better overall prospect.
Okay, on the clock, the Chargers, Justin, who do you think they'll take? Now they got the 23rd pick. They got Justin Herbert.
They do. Man. I'm kind of stumped right here, to be honest with you. I wasn't really expecting this trade.
I mean, they got offense, right, Kylu? Do they need defense?
I think they have enough offense. I think they could probably go. I think they'll probably end up going defense here.
Justin?
Well, if they don't go defense, they could go offensive line. Getting some offensive line help wouldn't be a bad decision. They definitely need to protect their top pick. So, then there's still a lot of guys available right now in the offensive line that could be very good at that spot in the draft.
I mean, they have wide receivers. They do have a tight end. They got Mike Williams. They got a running back, Eckler. I mean, where a person like Matos, what's his he's still available.
Are you trying to compliment to Eckler?
Yetzer Gross Matos, defensive end.
Well, he's a stud, and I had him being picked somewhere around this area. So
yeah, which you had him at 27th with the Seahawks, which that would replace Jadeveon Clowney. he's watching tonight.
Jadeveon Clowney is to go on. The pick is in, so we're about to have the mystery solved.
We'll see what happens. So the 23rd pick is going to be the Chargers. They're on the clock. I don't know exactly the time, but yeah, but the Patriots have a lot of picks going on between the 2nd and 7th round. So this is what they do. This is what they always do. That I don't know. I mean, okay. After trading up with New England, the Chargers take Oklahoma linebacker Kenneth Murray. What do you guys think about that?
Huh, wow. I was not expecting that, but solid guy, man. Love. He's a headhunter. He's a guy that you're hearing his name called often, and he's a guy that comes up big at the most needed moments too. I loved watching him during the Oklahoma games that I covered on our Twitter account. Good pick. I thought he may have fallen to the Ravens, but of course you know my pick. I'm thinking they're gonna get Terrell Lewis, but Kenneth Murray's a stud.
Kylu, you followed Oklahoma this past year. What are your thoughts about Kenneth Murray?
I like Kenneth Murray. Like you said, he's a headhunter. He will chase you out of bounds, and he's very physical. I like him as a middle linebacker. I think he's great calling your defense. I think he's really, really good. And, Oklahoma struggled on defense the past couple of years, and without him, we struggled even more. So I think this is a really good pick. He's going to be able to be your middle linebacker from day one. I think he could come right in, step right in, and be your middle linebacker, call plays for your defense.
Next pick is the Saints. Justin's very sentimental with the Saints. You have Jordan Love. He could go this next pick. I mean, is this possibility or? I mean, if he doesn't go in this pick, I mean, he'll go second round, pretty much.
Well, it's not a foregone conclusion, but yeah, I have him falling out of the first round. If he doesn't go here, he may even go third round. You don't know. But if they don't go quarterback, then I feel like they're going to go defense to get Patrick Queen. I mean, local guy, LSU guy, he stays at home, and the Saints fans are going to love that. And it's going to be the icing on the cake to an already pretty.
Kylu, can Jordan Love go to the Saints?
I think they're going to take Patrick Queen here. I think they're going to definitely go linebacker.
Why?
Because I just think Saints, I mean, they don't really, I mean, the backup that they have now, I don't really think that they view that as like a long-term option. His name is blank on me, but I don't think they think that as a long-term option right now. But I think that they feel comfortable enough in Drew Brees, at least for the next 1 year. So I think they feel comfortable at least in Drew Brees for the next 1 year, so they probably can go linebacker here. Because they're ready to win now. They went 13-3 last year. Even though they were very disappointing to the Minnesota Vikings, they're still going to be in that Super Bowl conversation with the Buccaneers, with the 49ers. So I think they're ready to win right now.
Justin, can you see a trade, possibly the Colts trading with the Saints? Absolutely. I would not be surprised at all having the Saints move down. They don't really have to draft right here. And the Colts do need to have an heir apparent, too.
Jordan Love?
Like, Tyler, Jordan Love, that's what Tyler has been alluding to for a while here. Most notably in our draft podcast this past Tuesday. So don't be surprised if you see the Colts pursue a trade here and move up to this position and get their guy, or presumably their guy.
Jordan Love has been compared to Patrick Mahomes, Kylu, but there's issues with him having drug issues, character flaws. Do you think that's an issue for Jordan Love?
I think it's definitely going to be an issue that he has to work on. I haven't heard about the drug problems, but I think it's going to be an issue for him to work on. I mean, I thought it was a bit unfair. He lost a lot of his skill position players. I definitely think at this spot in the draft, falling to a playoff team wouldn't be always, a bad thing. Obviously, you want to go higher, but I think falling to a playoff team and being able to sit behind a veteran and learn and see how it goes in training camp, if there is a training camp of that sort. But sitting behind the veteran would be great for someone like Jordan Love. So I think that could greatly benefit his career.
Justin, is your doubts with Jordan Love, is it character flaws?
No, not necessarily. I feel like the inconsistencies he's had here recently, and just there are several moments, like Tyler said a couple nights ago, where some of his throws, you're like, what in the blue hell are you looking at? And where was this going? He just the interceptions, 17 interceptions, that's a lot. I understand he's gone through some changes in his offense, some changes in coaching, but those are some things that he can control, and he's got to be able to control himself.
Breaking news, guys. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott's brother, his name is Jace. He passed away today. And
oh gosh, wow.
Yeah, a statement from the Cowboys spokesperson. It is a great sadness and support that we share the news of the passing of Jace Prescott today. The loss of Tad and Dak's brother is devastating at this incredibly difficult time. The Prescott family asks for only prayers and respect for their privacy. Speaking about Dak, getting CD Lamb and Amari Cooper, Kailu, is that? You can't beat that. Would that be enough for them to win the NFC East?
I think they're definitely going to be in a conversation. But again, those NFC East games are tough. We haven't seen a back-to-back win in the NFC East in quite some time. And playing in Philadelphia, those fans with Carson Wentz is going to be tough. Even playing the Giants, when they're out of it, those games are still very competitive because the NFC East is always very competitive. And obviously with Washington adding Chase Young, they're not going to win a lot of games. But with Ron Rivera coaching, I think he's going to be able to squeeze the most out of that roster like he did in Carolina, similar to how he did in Carolina before. When he left, they just completely fell apart.
How about Ron Rivera, Justin? Do you think he's having a good draft day with Chase Young?
Based on his first pick, I'd say absolutely he is.
They got Montez Sweat.
How he finished. They have Montez Sweat. They've got a pretty dang good front there, brother. You got Sweat, you got Chase Young now, you got Deron Payne, you got Johnathan Allen. Good grief!
They should. Which makes the NFL West a pretty. Will it be owned by the Redskins and the Cowboys, or will it be just a mixed bag?
I think it's going to be Eagles and Cowboys. I think it's always going to be Eagles and Cowboys. I think the Giants still need a lot on their defense. I still think they have a long way to go on their defense. And the Redskins, I just think that they're a little more further back. But I won't rule out Ron Rivera because he has shown that he gets the most out of his players. So I wouldn't count that out. He's really good on special teams. And that's where I think they will take the biggest jump with Ron Rivera. And situationally, in-game coaching with Jay Gruden, I definitely think he's a level way above Jay Gruden.
Justin, do you think Rivera will turn things around in Washington?
I think he has the ability to. It's just a question of whether or not they're going to give him time to. And one of the things you have to realize, they're a mess right now. They're an absolute, just dumpster fire. And there's a lot of toxicity in the organization. And that takes a long time to just be able to right the ship when you have that going on. So, but if you give him time and you allow him to do his thing and let him contain, then he has a really good chance of possibly righting the ship. And he is really good at the most out of his players.
Okay.
Let him do what he's able to do.
Okay, Saints, the pick is in. I'm waiting for that final call. Still waiting that call.
Yeah, Dan Snyder, while we're waiting for it, Dan Snyder just got to give him time. They've known the fire coaches. They just got to be patient and let him make some of the picks and not Dan Snyder just get in the way and mess things up.
That's what they do in Washington. They fire a coach. Coaches.
Miami's known to do that too. You would know.
That's a good one, Kyle.
Santiago.
Who is having a better night, the Jets or the New York Giants, Kailu?
I think they're both having a good night, but I think I would go more with the Jets because I think the Jets still have – I would trust Joe Douglas more than Dave Gettleman at this point based on his – not with the Jets, but because last year he got hired in June, so he didn't have a chance to make his own draft. It's unfair that they made him do that. I would trust him because his – personnel with Eagles and his scouting going back with the Eagles. So I would definitely think him because he has a better background than Dave Gettleman.
They're taking Cesar Ruiz. The Saints are taking Cesar Ruiz. Justin, what are your thoughts about that take? Michigan center.
He's solid, man. He's about as tough as they come. Strong guy. Watched him play against Alabama in the Citrus Bowl. did very well against our front. Very talented guy. This is a guy that some folks thought that was going to sneak into the first round. He did. Definitely would have been a huge pickup in the second round, but that definitely is a great selection, protecting Drew Brees and just making that line more formidable for the Saints. I thought they'd go linebacker, but I can't disagree here.
Kailu, what are your thoughts about that pick? Cesar Reese from Michigan.
I think it's a really good pick from Michigan. He's the center. He's very physical. He will be able to step in right away and play at the center after, training camp. So I definitely think it's a good pick for them there.
Yeah.
In the first round.
A couple players, Justin, kind of squeezed in that thought we're going to be at a lower round, like second or third, but they kind of squeezed in here. Like Arnett. Jalen Rieger, I think, was also predicted to go second round, right?
It was second round, but there was a whole lot of talks of going into the first. And you're going to see reaches like this at this point in the draft, so I'm not a bit surprised that we're starting to see some of these guys come up. So it's kind of playing out the way I thought it would.
So,
but yeah, I love that previous pick.
So it's a conclusion right now. Jordan Love will not be picked in the first round.
No, Green Bay still there,
that way.
man.
Oh, Green Bay. That's right.
Green Bay is there. That's
Green Bay gonna make that call. Remember, Rodgers fell to 24 in 2005, man.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers will like that?
No, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is gonna have a problem. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is gonna care because he's had 2 collarbones. It's not like he's coming in to ready to take his job. I mean, Jordan Love still needs a lot of work, so it's not like he's coming to take a job. It's a session playing for him for 3 years. And honestly, it's no hard feelings in the NFL. You're 36 years old. And if Aaron Rodgers doesn't like it, I mean,
Now you know how Brett Favre felt, right, Justin? A couple years ago?
Man, 36 years old in the NFL is like 50 in regular people use.
Okay.
Well, they just take a huge amount of wear and tear, man. They get a lot of bumps and bruises, and playing in the NFL will age you. I had a friend of mine that played in the NFL for a while. He said the game ages you 10 years.
Yeah, it does.
So
it's
it's
like a bus hitting. Yeah,
there.
Like you feel
bring some youth.
Yeah, like you feel. I mean, you just feel. I mean, your whole body's brittle, and you felt, just like a bus just hit you. There's still possibility that. I mean, Kylie, what are the chances for the Colts to trade up? To get into the first round? Do you think, like, probably, maybe, like the Seattle Seahawks?
I don't think it's going to happen, but I won't rule it out because I think Chris Ballard is the top 5 GM in football, so I won't rule it out for them, but I just don't think that it's going to happen. I don't think that they're going to be able to find a trade partner for it to happen.
Highly unlikely.
Okay, guys, you got the Dolphins, Seahawks, Ravens, Titans, Packers, Niners, and Chiefs. Justin, what are your expectations for number 28 Ravens so far?
I think we're going to go defense. We've got to have a linebacker / edge, somebody who's going to create some havoc there. We don't have that guy right now. So I feel like, and then now that Murray is gone, so that takes one of the options away. But I still contend one of the best players right now, even though it may be a reach in some people's eyes, is Terrell Lewis, edge linebacker out of Alabama. And he brings that tenacity that they're looking for. He fits the mold of a Baltimore defense. He's a physical specimen, 6'5", incredible strength and power. He's a guy that can make people look silly. What I really like about him is his hand usage. He can jab a guy and basically hold them at arm's length, and he basically will keep them at bay for as long as he needs them that way. Then he just sheds them, and he's able to go after a ball carrier or a quarterback.
Okay, guys, breaking news. Vikings are traded out their number 25th spot to the 49ers. Kylie, what are your thoughts about that?
I think the 49ers are obviously trying to improve while they're being a runner-up in the Super Bowl. So I definitely think they're going to go for it because a lot of people are going to have them as the favorites in the NFC this year. So I definitely think they're trying to go for it while the window's hot with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Justin, what they're trying to do there?
Just add more value to their team. They still need a receiver. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe they're going that route right now. Maybe Brandon Ayuk right here. Not really sure. I don't really think there's really any bigger needs right now than a receiver.
What do you think, Kailu?
Yeah, I definitely think they can go receiver here to just – I mean, they have a really strong defense, so I think they could definitely use a receiver here.
Niners are trading their picks 31, 117, and 176 to the Vikings for number 25. Wow. 3 picks for that number 25 spot.
How do you feel? What do you feel like the Dolphins need to do with this next pick? Since you're the
well, let's see. I think I would like to load it up with offensive tackle, but that's probably not a smart thing to do. Maybe a wide receiver.
What about running back? How do you feel about getting a running back?
Running back, I agree. I mean, I guess we're going to have to go offense. Either way, wide receivers or running back. I mean, I don't even remember who is our running back, because last one I've heard was
that's exactly why you need one.
Yeah, Niners select the Niners select Brandon Ayuk. Wow. What do you think about that, Justin?
Called it.
You're right. You said it.
Somebody called it. It was me. This guy right here. Good pick. They definitely took care of a need right here. Has a lot of upside, and I really like this guy. And even though he's at this position in the draft, doesn't necessarily devalue him just because of how deep this wide receiver class is. So that this is a good selection, worth moving up for. And it definitely, you got to provide weapons for your quarterback.
Brandon, are you from Arizona State, a team very familiar to Ty Turner? Goes to San Francisco and joins Debo and Kittle in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Kailu, how pretty will that look?
I think it's going to be amazing because Brandon Ayuk is going to get to learn from Kyle Shanahan and veterans like George Kittle. They went to runner up in the Super Bowl. That's going to take pressure off him. He's going to be able to come in and be wide open because George Kittle and Emmanuel Sanders is there. Plus they have Deebo Samuel. Plus they have Mozart. So they're going to be really stacked. And I think the great thing for him is he's not going to have to come in like every other receiver and contribute right away. He's going to be able to just play on special teams. And when he's ready, he's going to just get to go out there and be open because they're coming off of a Super Bowl appearance. So I definitely think this is great for him because unlike the receivers drafted ahead of him, there's just no pressure on him. He's fallen to a playoff team that was a runner-up in the Super Bowl. If I was him, I'd be ecstatic.
Brandon and you, Justin, you're a fan?
I am a fan, but I'll tell Ty not to look because I just showed a highlight against Oregon, and he just burned a Oregon defensive back.
He's the Oregon killer.
He's a really good player. He's solid. I like his weight, 5'11", 205. He's got some muscle to him. I like to have a receiver who's got some muscle, some power. He's got great. He's shifty. He can maneuver real well. He's fairly decent at running routes. I just think he's going to be a guy that can contribute all over the field, not just at a primarily receiver spot, like Kylie mentioned. Special teams, and if you can't contribute in the special teams, you really don't have a whole lot of value in the NFL. You got to be able to bring a lot to the table.
Well, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. I know you guys are tired. I know Kailu's not tired, but
maybe your Dolphins are going to pick my boy Xavier McKinney here.
You want him to?
The guy that I went back. Yeah, because
Why?
They need that safety help. They need that big safety, that field general. And this is a guy that's a tremendous leader, a do-everything guy. At Alabama this past season, you really weren't able to see his true ceiling because he had to make up for a lot of what the defense was lacking. He had to cover where a lot of guys fell short. He was all over the field. And he led the team in tackles. He just is absolutely amazing. He can hit. He can change the pace of a game. He's a great leader. He's a lot faster than what his Combine 40 showed, and that was because of an injury he suffered while running it. Got really good quicks. He's a good pick here, and I honestly thought that he either would go to the Dolphins or to the Cowboys. So maybe this works out for him.
Kylu, who should the Dolphins get?
I actually agree because I think with the loss of Minka Fitzpatrick, I definitely could see them going safety here. With the loss of Minka Fitzpatrick, especially trading him for the first round pick, I definitely think they can go with the Alabama play here.
Kylu, give us an update. What happened last week at the WNBA draft?
I think the WNBA draft was really good. The second highest rated draft ever, and seeing Sabrina Nesso go number 1 overall to the New York Liberty, already a top 10 New York sports player in my opinion. So I definitely think it was good to see the WNBA draft go that well.
The Dolphins are back on the clock for the third time tonight, and they select Georgia running back Andre Swift. Justin Riley,
Wow,
you're familiar with him.
That's a great pick. Oh, good job, Miami. They take care of an obvious need at running back. This guy is a man. He can run between the tackles. He can move people out of the way, but he can also catch the ball out of the backfield. He can, line up at receiver too if he needs to. He forced for Georgia. He can carry a load if you ask him to, and it definitely takes some pressure off of Tua. Gives him a good weapon. Tua's very familiar with him. If they get a good receiver in the second round, things are starting to look pretty good here for Miami.
It's funny because we were talking about a running back, and we had Andre Swift going to Kansas City for that last pick in the first round, and now it's going to Miami. Miami's having a good night, right, Kylu?
Miami's having a really good night. Brian Flores is able to finish the year really strong. They finished 5-11, but he was able to really win 5 of his last 9 games, I think it was. They're having a really good night. You got your franchise quarterback in Tua. You got potentially a franchise left tackle in Austin Jackson, and now you got your running back who can catch out of the backfield and really help Tua take some of the pressure off him. He really, I think in 2 years combined, he's had 12 throwaways in his collegiate career. So that would be great for him. He could throw the Swift out of the backfield and to alleviate some pressure from all the time throwing down the field. Sometimes it's great for him. It's one of his strengths, but sometimes it'd be great for him to just use DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. Really good threat out of the backfield. Also a really good runner. You got your tackle. Miami's having a really, really good draft.
Hold up here, guys. The Dolphins are having talks with the Packers about potentially trading back. Justin, what's happening?
Well, you tell me. That's your team here. No, Miami is just making all the right moves right now. They're very smart. I'm liking the decision making and the thought process here. This is an organization that's trying to make a statement right now and tell everybody that they're serious. You need to take it seriously, and this is what we're doing about it.
Kylu, the Packers are 30th, and they want to move up to. No, they're at the 26th spot right now. Will this be a Jordan Love pick?
Yeah, Green Bay's like, man, we got Jordan Love. I think Green Bay's like the receiver. I mean, they could go receiver here, but I just think that Green Bay might do it. Green Bay would stop people. Gunther has spent a lot of money in free agency last year on the defense, bringing in Darius Smith and Preston Smith, which really helped our defense. I definitely think that Green Bay could definitely go quarterback to definitely bridge for 3 years.
You think that was a right? What they're trying to do? I mean, this is okay. DeAndre Swift is good, but I guess they can still get him at the 30th pick, right, Justin?
DeAndre Swift,
probably.
Yeah. I mean, they could because right now nobody's really thinking so much about running back right now. So yeah, he could be available at that point. I think the team needs right now are focused on other positions. But I think you got to go running back right now, for the reasons we just discussed.
Dolphins trade their pick number 26 for Packers 30th and 136th pick. So this might be a Jordan Love. They're on the clock right now, Kylu.
It's about to be Jordan Love.
It's going to be Jordan Love.
It has to be. Okay, we'll wait for a few more. We're dragging the show on to the end, I bet. It feels like Packers move up.
They're either going to get Jordan Love here, or I originally picked for them to get Patrick Queen. I would love to see him there. But you got to think future.
Yeah, we could use inside linebacker with Blake Martinez going to the New York Giants. So that's actually a really smart pick.
That's not bad. So, oh gosh, this is tough because I think. Okay, Packers trade up. Patrick McQueen, Blaylock, or Espinoza. Those are the three I've been hearing. Patrick Queen, Justin Blackluck, or AJ Epineza. I mean, I thought he'll be drafted by now, Justin.
I thought so too.
Okay, Jordan Love is official. Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, let's go! Let's go! I knew it.
Wow.
Hey, you called it. It makes sense.
After playing that Green Day.
Wow.
What a goal plan.
Wow, this is huge. This is a succession plan, Justin. Kailu.
Amazing.
This is it.
I have faith in Green Bay. They did it when Brett Favre was approaching the end of his tenure there. They got Aaron Rodgers, allowed him to develop for a couple of years. He came in at the right time, and that time on the bench learning from Brett Favre paid off, and you got to think that the same situation is going to apply here.
Packers GM Gutekunst earlier this week on drafting quarterbacks. You can't overvalue that position. If you have a guy who can play at a high level in this league, you have to take him no matter where your team is at because it's too hard to win without them. Kailu, how happy are you?
Just static. I mean, we have our quarterback for the next 10 years. He can sit behind Rodgers, learn from Rodgers, hold the clipboard for Rodgers, just be really good. Just put the locker right next to Aaron Rodgers and just get to work and learning.
And if there's one quarterback that understands the realities of the NFL and how teams sometimes draft first-round quarterbacks, is Aaron Rodgers. Jordan Love in Green Bay. Unbelievable. I like to end this show with Jordan Love because he shows some love tonight.
Well, he definitely got some love there from Kailu. I like your passion, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Justin,
you can't wait. My Ravens are 2 picks away here.
You want to wait till the Ravens pick?
I mean, I'd appreciate it, but if not, that's cool too.
I can wait. I got all night. I can't leave. I got to break these trades. I mean, like these picks to Tyler on the Sports Guys Twitter because I have a source that tells me these things ahead of time.
Oh, you got an inside man.
I got an inside man. I don't know how, but it's good though.
Well, you got to give it to Ty. He does his research. He spends his time investing in this type of thing.
Praise up to Todd McShay.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he got the coronavirus recently. He was not able to be in the draft ceremonies this weekend. Justin, who is left from Alabama players do you think will be next picked? Obviously, could not be. It may not happen with this round, but who's left? Do you think will be next?
Who's left? Well, Xavier McKinney is the first and foremost name in the list, and Trayvon Diggs as well. So I'm kind of surprised they're still there.
I mean,
so, these next few picks, they could go. Like I said, Baltimore. We need that edge guy from possibly Terrell Lewis, but then we also need to get a safety as well. We just lost Jefferson, so we need somebody playing safety for us. Tennessee needs some defensive back help too, so you got to think if Trayvon Diggs didn't pick his next few picks, that's a name that you've got to pick right there. That you got to get some help in that secondary. I originally had Fulton being taken there only because Diggs was already off my board, but with Diggs available, you can't pass him up.
Kailu, Seattle's next. Do you think they'll most likely pick Yetter Gross-Matos?
Yes, I definitely think they should. Seattle really struggled in terms of sacks last year. I think they were somewhere like 28th in the league in sacks, if my memory serves me correct. But I definitely think Seattle could go defense here. Or they can really go. I mean, Russell Wilson's an athletic player, but they can definitely go offensive line here. But I definitely think they would be best served going defense here especially if they don't. Even if they bring back Jadeveon Clowney, they have to go defensive.
Brett Favre was 35 when the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is 36 as the Packers draft Jordan Love. Is this going to be a cycle, like forever, Kylu?
Forever.
I mean, I just love this pick. I mean, it's going to be a cycle. Green Bay, smart GM, late 36 years old, Aaron Rodgers. You're a playoff team. You're going to make the playoffs anyway. I think this is just terrific for Green Bay. It just set up your future. It's better to get your quarterback early and have him develop than wait till it's too late.
Back to the Seahawks. Justin, do you think it'll most likely be Yetter, Gross Matos sending off Clowney off to the free agent world?
I think you got to invest in that position, and what better guy than Gross Matos right now? You really don't need to sit around and wait for Jadeveon Clowney to make up his mind. You need to make up his mind for him, and you got to think about your future. So it would be a very smart choice. You know, like Kylie just said, you know, Seattle could go offensive line, get some help there. Maybe like a small consideration, getting a running back here to provide some help in that area. So it could be within the realm of possibility. You know, we got some good ones available. So that's one thing that you could possibly look at. But Gross Matos, if you pass on him, I think it's crazy.
So would that mean that Clowney will probably be a free agent?
Well, if anybody wants to pick up that big contract that he's demanding, by all means, go for it.
To the Ravens.
I don't want him.
Where should Clowney go? Kylu?
He needs to go somewhere and get humbled.
I think they got to keep Clowney, but I definitely think that if his asking price comes down, but I think that they need a defensive end. Even with Clowney, they have to address the position anyway. So I definitely think they should go to Clowney and his agent and say, look, we're just trying to work this up. And if they can't, I mean, then they can't. But I definitely think that they need to bring Clowney back and definitely still draft the defensive end.
Seahawks.
I think they need to go both.
Seahawks take Texas Tech linebacker Jordan Brooks.
No.
Justin, have you heard about him?
Well, not at this position. In the draft, no. I think it's a reach. A guy that would have been available on day two. I'm kind of questioning why not Gross Matos here.
Oh, wait. It takes Texas. Yeah, they take Jordan Brooks. Someone's saying Matos, but I think it's Brooks. I'm hearing Jordan Brooks. What do you think about that, Kylo? Was that a smart pick, or what's going on there?
I didn't see him on any first-round mock drafts. I felt like he was I'm not really that familiar with him, but for me, I felt like he was a day two pick for them. I didn't think he was an end of the first-round pick, to be honest.
Texas linebacker.
You're gonna have.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
You're gonna have picks like this at this point in the draft. Like I said.
Yep.
People are going to make reaches that don't make a whole lot of sense.
Yep, confirmed. Jordan Brooks. Congratulations, Jordan Brooks. Number 27 did not trade out. Big upset of the night. You think, Justin?
I don't know if it's an upset. I think it's just one of the wow moments of the draft. It's one of those, what are you thinking moments. Or this guy can have been available at day two, maybe even day 3.
Or day 4.
A lot. Well, I don't know about that. But I just feel like there's a lot of other guys right now that have higher value, and it should have been taken.
What do you think about this, Kylu?
Think about what?
Jordan Brooks going to Seattle. I mean, linebacker. I guess that means the Clowney stays.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a reach. I didn't see him on any first round mock drafts. Not really familiar with him too much, but when I was looking and I checked, I didn't really see him on any first round mock drafts. So based on that, I think it's a little bit of a reach. I thought that they could have got him in the second round.
So Justin, they're going to keep Clowney probably.
Quite possibly, but then again, like we just talked about, his asking price is going to have to come down.
This should be quite interesting. Next is the Baltimore Ravens. Not Jordan's Ravens. Justin's Ravens.
Yeah, who's Jordan, dude?
I don't know. I'm thinking about The Last Dance.
Tiago, is it past your bedtime?
It is. We're going midnight here.
You're,
I hope that.
wow, because you're usually up with the chickens, man.
I know.
Before the chickens get up.
I know. I'm pretty tired, but I'm hanging in there. I mean, right now I feel good. I feel like the adrenaline's kicking in. A little hungry, but it's okay.
Sounds like it. You need to grab a Snickers, brother.
That sounds good. I might do that, actually. I got a candy machine down the hall.
Now, since DeGrasse Matos is available right now, which I didn't expect him to be, I would not be surprised if that's who the Ravens draft right here.
Would you take him?
High value. Yeah, I'd take him. We need him at that position. So this is interesting right here.
What about you, Kailu? Should the Ravens take Matos at this pick?
I definitely think they can because you have Matthew Judon here, so I definitely think they can. You're a playoff team. You lost 14-2 to the Titans. I mean, you definitely need to improve. Lamar Jackson is definitely going to need to win a playoff game next year. I think maybe 0-3, you're going to start to hear, oh, he can't win a playoff game now. So there's going to be a lot of that chatting next year. Yeah, I'm serious. Your first year, you're a rookie. Your second year, you get a top seed. And then next year, you get a top seed, you get bounced. I mean, you're definitely going to start to hear that chatter from the media. Because the media is already looking to scrutinize that pick like they did when they selected him with the Ravens. Oh, he's going to be a wide receiver. So I definitely think they can improve with a defensive end here.
Justin, why can't the Ravens win a playoff game with Lamar Jackson?
Well, it's not necessarily him. I think when
it's all his fault.
It's all him. Run him out of town. Put him back at running back where he belongs. No, I just I think losing Ingram in the playoff or not having him at full strength really messed up the flow of the offense. I think the offense really feeds off of him. They definitely feed off of his energy, and I think the offense goes as well as Mark Ingram goes. And he takes the pressure off of Lamar Jackson and allows him to do a lot more. So I feel like that hurt. I'm not sure if Lamar Jackson was quite ready to carry the weight of the team on his shoulders. So I think they were just asking a lot of him at that moment, and he just didn't really have that extra help that would have benefited him. And then the defense just was in complete disarray. They went from being perhaps the best defense in the NFL the entire season to looking like a team that's never been on the field before, like it was their first time doing something. So they were playing way out of character.
I mean,
so it was a team situation. You can't put it all on Lamar Jackson's shoulders for that loss.
I mean,
and Derrick Henry definitely made a difference too.
Go ahead, Kailu.
I think the bye definitely affected them because if you remember, they had the 1 seat clinch for a while. So I think the bye definitely affected them because they had basically 2 weeks off, opposed to a team like the 49ers, who, because the NFC was so competitive and Green Bay went 13-3 and the Saints went 13-3, and those teams still had something to play for, I feel like the bye really affected a young team like Lamar Jackson since they're not used to the bye, more opposed to veteran teams like Green Bay, where it helps them with their injuries. You give Rodgers an extra week. So I definitely think having a bye for a young team is not always the greatest thing in the world unless you have injuries. I definitely think that it could have been the bye that really affected them.
Breaking news. Ravens take Patrick Queen at number 28. This makes history. Queen is the first player the Ravens have ever drafted out of LSU. Justin, how about that?
Well, I like it being our first pick out of LSU.
Good pick.
I am a big fan of Patrick Queen. We definitely need linebacker help. We need strong linebacker help, and I think that he's a guy who's going to develop into one of the better linebackers in the AFC, if not the league. So, yeah, good pick. I think that his persona and the way he plays definitely embodies what the Ravens defense has been known for. He fits the mold, so I am very happy. I did want Terrell Lewis, but, getting Queen is definitely a great selection.
Kylu, Patrick Queen goes to the Ravens. Not Matos. Is this a good addition to Baltimore?
I think it's a terrific addition for the Ravens. I mean, they're known to develop really high end with C.J. Mosley. They're really known to develop really good linebackers, especially when they had Ray Lewis. Going back to the Ray Lewis days, so I definitely think it's a great fit, and I think he could probably make the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl, if you remember, a lot of injury guys they don't play in the Pro Bowl. The Super Bowl players, of course, don't play in the Pro Bowl. So I definitely think that he could play as maybe a second or a third guy in the Pro Bowl if some of the guys get injured in the Pro Bowl next year.
Wow. So where does this? I mean, so for Matos, where does he go from here? Like, do you think he'll get selected tonight, or do you think he'll go second round or third?
Well, there's still some picks.
I mean, you got the Titans, you got the Dolphins, the Vikings, or the Chiefs.
Could go to the Dolphins. That would be a good pick for them. But if he doesn't go in the first round, he's going to be a great pickup for somebody on day 2.
What do you think, Kylu?
I definitely think that he could definitely go to maybe like Kansas City. Maybe they just take a flyer on someone because, I mean, linebacker, they can go linebacker. But probably for me, I think you probably go to second round.
Well, there you have it, guys. We got the 29th pick, which is the Titans right now, joining Tannehill and King Henry. Then you got the Miami Dolphins having one. Well, Miami Dolphins, we thought they're going to have a good. Well, yes, they're having a good night, but will they pick DeAndre Swift on that 30th pick, Justin? He could be available.
I think you have to. Well, they could go defense and go Matos, but
is Swift worth it?
They also could go. What now?
You would think that Swift is worth it?
Absolutely. I think you got to have a player of his caliber there. It takes a lot of pressure off Tua Tagovailoa. And that's one thing he needs coming into this situation. He's got to have weapons. He's got to have pressure off of him instead of him being the guy and forced to carry that cross by himself. There is nobody at running back. You can't even remember what the running back's name is. That's an issue. That's a problem.
I don't know. He's probably a practice squad member.
So, going running back is a big deal here.
Kylu.
If you don't get a running back here, there is great value in the running backs that are available. They're going to be there on day 2. So, definitely address that issue.
Will it be Swift for the Miami Dolphins, Kylu?
Yeah, I definitely think they can go Swift or they can continue to address the other issues. I think they'll be running back later on. So I definitely think you can continue to beef up the other positions that you need. But I definitely think they can go running back here because that's when it needs. But you can get a running back later on here at the end of the first round. Some teams have reached, but I definitely think you get a running back later on. So
now, Justin,
I would hold off on a running back here.
Now, Justin, why didn't you think about Patrick Queen as why did you think like the Ravens needed a linebacker? Feels like everyone's saying, "Oh, this is a perfect fit," but you didn't see that coming, right?
Well, I didn't think that Queen would be available, so that's the only reason why I would make that statement. Of
you did have Terrell Lewis going to Ravens.
Yeah, because the Ravens really don't have a solid pass rusher right now. That's one of the missing elements of that defense, and may have actually been one of the things that prevent us from going to a Super Bowl. So you've got to have a solid pass rusher who's going to be disruptive. And and we don't really know how much longer Judon's going to be committed to us. So we definitely need to have a linebacker who's going to be there for a certain amount of years that we can build a defense around.
Well, there you have it, guys. That is our update for tonight. Who are the winners tonight? We'll go with Kylu. Which team is having a good night so far?
I think the Dolphins are having a really good night. As of course, I think that the both New York teams addressing you're gonna with Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell addressing that, adding a tackle. Also the New York Giants, you need to protect Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, who you drafted last year. Protect your investments. And an underrated winner, I definitely think. Also the Browns, I definitely think they are an underrated night. Bringing over Kevin Stefanski as Baker Mayfield's third coach in 3 years. Your third year, we all know how crucial that is. They drafted Jedrick Wills from Alabama. He could potentially be a left tackle for them. You need to protect Baker Mayfield. You already have weapons in there with Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and really good run backs and Njoku, the tight end. So I definitely think that the Browns were an underrated winner. Andrew Berry just addressing that offensive line, which Baker was really going to need in his third year to take that next step forward, threw over 20 interceptions this past year. So hopefully that helps him going forward.
We didn't talk about Jedrick Willis with you, Justin. What was your thoughts about him going to Cleveland?
And that's actually where I had him initially landing. He's a behemoth of a man. He's a grown man, and he can move people around, and he's exactly what the Cleveland Browns needed. I am so proud of the Cleveland Browns for addressing a very big need that seemed like they were just completely ignoring here recently. They've got to protect Baker Mayfield if they're going to see this experiment with him actually works. You got good weapons, but if you can't get the ball to your weapons because you're on your back or broken in half, it doesn't do you a bit of good. So getting an insurance policy with Jedrick Wills Jr. is a great way to start, and it shows your quarterback, hey, I believe in you, so I'm going to protect you. So I was excited there. Of course, the Dolphins thus far, they can do good to see what they're doing. I'm really happy with New York teams because instead of after the sexy pick like we talked about early, they went for a great need. You got to go offensive line to protect your young quarterbacks. Yeah, they can find a wide receiver. I know they want a receiver, and that's what fans are clamoring for. But good receivers are still on the board. Two, you've got a real good chance to pick up a solid one. But if your quarterback, like I said, can't get the ball to his guys, then it doesn't do a bit of good to have a great wide receiver.
Who were the winners tonight, Justin?
I just named them.
Miami. Yeah, I know. You just said. I just
Miami.
had to confirm.
Okay. Yeah, Miami first foremost, and then the New York teams and the Browns.
The Browns. Honorable mention.
Well, yeah, they're number 3 in my list just because they finally addressed the offensive line need.
I think the Miami Dolphins are the biggest winners tonight. I think everyone was pulling for them. I think this is a new
and Green Bay. I got to add Green Bay in there.
Yeah, I mean Green Bay had one
I
pick.
give props. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Good night.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Well,
that's a great night when you address your future.
Yeah.
So
now,
yeah, actually, kudos to Green Bay.
How long does Aaron Rodgers have?
I think he has 3 years, pending that his collarbone holds up. I think that they say he's had 2 collarbones. I think it's one each shoulder. So pending that his collarbone holds up, I still think that he can play at a good enough level to maybe win another possible Super Bowl or 2 with the running game late in his career. I think he's got 2 years prime, maybe 1 late where he rides the defense like similar to how Peyton Manning did. Maybe he could squeeze out another Super Bowl appearance. But I definitely think it's got to happen sooner or later because the NFC is getting better. You were in the NFC Championship last year. You have relatively good health. Now there's only 1 bye. So Green Bay, you got an extra playoff team, but there's only 1 bye. So you're not going to have that bye again. So it's going to be all-out scramble for the bye. So, I mean, the time is not on Green Bay's side with Rodgers. But the future is great.
And the Packers still need a wide receiver, don't they?
They can get a receiver, like we talked about. There's a lot of receivers in the 3rd or 4th round that's going to start right away. And as long as they learn the playbook pretty quickly with Rodgers and having Devontae Adams there won't be a lot of pressure on them. So I definitely think they can definitely learn from Devontae. But remember, they drafted Devontae in the 2nd round with Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, and it worked out terrific for Green Bay. So I don't have no problem with them scattering receivers. They've done a terrific job with receivers.
Trubisky. Let's talk Trubisky. Someone says Julio Jenkins. I'm not sure who Julio is, but he wants to talk about Trubisky. Or Rashad Gary sucks. From the comments. This is from the comments.
Trubisky's not winning that job, I'm telling you. They're going to give that job to Nick Foles.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I know.
They didn't bring in Nick Foles. I mean, Nick Foles has won more playoff games than the Bears have won in 15, 20 years. They didn't bring Nick Foles. I don't think Nick Foles is there to just sit on the bench and hold the clipboard for Trubisky. Either Trubisky's going to take the job and get challenged, or that's going to be Nick Foles' job. Especially with Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's looking to win. The Vikings are going to be really good in that division. Green Bay is always very competitive. They're 13-3 off the NFC Championship game. The Bears are not going to want to be third in that division. They're going to want to make some noise, and I think Nick Foles is going to give them the best chance to do that.
Okay, guys, tight end select. They select
Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia.
Who?
Guy that I had, Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia.
Oh, okay, it's official. That's right. I see it. Isaiah.
He's a guy I actually had going higher, and the rest of our crew on our mock draft night thought it was a very outstanding reach, and I got criticized for it.
You did. You got mocked.
Here he is.
Why? Why is he there? Why is he that good?
I think a lot of people are looking at his upside and just his physicality and his size. And there are some negatives that were addressed, but I feel like that they're looking past all that, and they're literally looking at potential. And when you play in the SEC, though, you got to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. The SEC is probably the most pro-ready conference, so you definitely have to give those guys props and the benefit of the doubt, like I said, coming in.
What do you think about this pick? Isaiah Wilson going to the Titans, Kailu. Was that a good pick? He's a tackle.
Yeah, I think it's really good. They got, I think his name is Dennis Kelly, and they got another O-line, and you gave all that money to Tannehill, so you might as well protect your investment. You should have gave that money to Derrick Henry.
Right?
We know the quarterback position is going to be way more valuable than the running back, even though they should have gave that money to Derrick Henry, but,
Or split it between the two.
Come on now.
That's the first time I see you guys agree on something.
We've agreed on other things. Hey, what? Don't sell us short now. Come on, Santiago.
No, I agree.
Snicker we were talking about.
Yeah, it's like with Tannehill, here's my issue. I don't know if he's going to have another good year. I don't know if he just had a one lucky year. I mean,
well, that's the biggest thing that I have an issue with is the fact that you gave him all this money when he had a decent year.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And the thing is, you don't know a lot of times when you give these guys a big contract if that's going to be replicated. And a lot of times, more often than not, it's not. It isn't. Derrick Henry is the guy who deserves the money. Like Halu just said, he led the NFL in rushing. He won the rushing title. He is the guy that actually won those playoff games for you, not Tannehill. So, yeah, I mean, give him some money, absolutely. Show him you believe in him, but you don't throw the bank at him.
What do you think about that, Kailu? Well, you just said it.
I don't think that he's going to be I think because the division that they're in the AFC South, I definitely think they can be competitive with Phillip Rivers, and that division always seems to be up in the air. I think they'll be competitive. I don't think he'll be ultimately worth the money, but here's why I think he could replicate that success. Because I think a lot of his success is based on A.J. Brown and those tight ends and adding the weapon. And I think as long as Derrick Henry rushes for 4 yards and 5 yards on first and second down, you get him in the third and short, I think Ryan Tannehill can make a lot go on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6, throwing to A.J. Green, maybe 1 or 2 deep balls, to throwing short to the tight end. As long as it's a manageable third down, I don't have a problem with Tannehill. The problem with him in his career has always been in Miami, where the lack of weapons and a lack of trust in the system with Adam Gase. So as long as it's third and manageable, I like Ryan Tannehill in that spot. But if it's 3rd and 9 and he's facing an elite playoff team, I don't really like his chances.
Okay, guys, the next pick is the Dolphins at the 30th. Kailu, do you think it's DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, I think they should definitely – I don't think they should go running back. Yeah, I think they can get a running back later. I think they could probably address another issue here. But if they want to go Swift at the end of the round, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I think they would be best served using their pick in another direction.
The Miami Dolphin fans are saying they want Swift.
I'd like to go Xavier McKinney here, but that might be my Alabama bias. I just think that he's a guy you need on your defense. And like Kylie just said earlier, is that you got to have an answer for trading away Minka Fitzpatrick. So this is a guy that you definitely have to take a look at for addressing that spot.
That's something they would look at. Miami could top it off with Swift. I don't care. I think I'm with Kylu. You go for another running back later on in the rounds, but if you get DeAndre Swift, I mean, he made some headlines with the SEC this past year, so we'll definitely be looking at the Miami Dolphins are left for the 30th spot, then the Minnesota Vikings. I think Diggs might go there, and then you got the Chiefs. So Chiefs could go anywhere. Okay, the pick is in for the Dolphins. I'll let you guys know what's going to happen. Now the Chiefs, if they don't, I mean, if Swift is taken by the Dolphins, who should the Chiefs get, Kylu?
They can go best player available here to them. I'm not sure who it is right now, but they can possibly go best player available. Maybe
Matos. Don't forget Matos. He's supposed to get into the first round.
Maybe go him. Go to championship culture, or they can possibly go defense here. I definitely think they probably lean defense. I think they have a lot of weapons on offense as we've seen in the Super Bowl. So I definitely think that they would lean defense.
I think the Dolphins might be heading towards the defense. We'll see. Hold on. I'm pulling this up.
Imagine they go J.K. Dobbins here. That'd be wild.
Dobbins?
Yeah, I mean.
Dobbins? They may even...
I mean, it's the end of the
they
first
may even
round.
reach to get Cam Akers.
Yeah.
This year's a deep talent this year. I mean, like the second round is full of talent as well, Justin.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, look at the receivers he has available there. Yeah, Chase Claypool's still there. You also have Gabriel out of UCF, who's a very good wide receiver. So, yeah, you've got some talent in the second round.
And then you got Jalen Hurts.
Definitely. Jalen Hurts, absolutely.
Jake Fromm.
I don't think
Jake Fromm's not going in the second round. he's I say third, fourth round. I know that Joey said that the Steelers aren't looking at a quarterback, but I don't fully buy into that yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if we say Jalen come off the board to Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'm seeing who is the Auburn corner that might be selected, because I think he's going to the Dolphins.
I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Solid defensive back.
Is it?
But
Hold on.
He wasn't predicted to be first round.
Noah Igdonde. Yep.
He's a very solid guy. He's definitely one of the highlights of that Auburn secondary from this past season. But a lot of folks had him rejected second, third round.
Kylu, thoughts about the cornerback from Auburn, Noah Igabonigjin?
Honestly, I've never heard of him.
Well, Justin has seen him play, so for sure.
I've seen him play.
What would you say some of his two strengths and
his accolades?
Well, the Auburn secondary was the weak link of that defense this past season, with the exception of him, and he had to carry a lot of the weight of that secondary by himself, and he did so pretty well. I think if he would have had help, you probably would have known more about him. And he's a solid guy. He can hit. He can direct people to where they're supposed to be. Really good leader. Really good. I say a quarterback of the secondary and of that defense. If they had a bright spot there in the secondary, it was him.
There you have it. Nick Agobin to Miami. He is from Trussville, Alabama. Went to Hewitt-Trussville High School. That's a suburb in Birmingham. He played at Auburn from 2017 to 2019 as a freshman. He played wide receiver. Prior to 2018, he switched to cornerback, so he was also a wide receiver. He became a starter that season and returned as a starter this past season. and he entered the 2020 draft. He finished his career with 92 tackles and 1 interception. Not bad, Kailu. Nigerian
and
descent.
Yeah.
shout out to my boy Rudy Griffin, who coached him in high school.
Guys, so we got 2 more picks left in the first round of the night. We got the Vikings and the Chiefs. Justin, who goes to the Vikings and who goes to the Chiefs? We got DeAndre Swift and we got Matos out in the pool.
Oh, well, they don't need a running back, so they're set there. They need defensive back. They need a corner, and Trayvon Diggs is sitting here. And I would, if it was me, I'd go for him. But then again, no, teams aren't really listening to a lot of what I'm saying tonight. So.
They're not. They're not listening to this.
They obviously aren't tuned in or follow us on Twitter, which that's their loss. Bunch of ungrateful people, but. Diggs is my choice here, so it's up to them. If they want to have a pitiful secondary and not draft him, that's on them.
Tyler Turner says Noah Egonegine is super inconsistent and a unbelievably athlete, not a great corner.
I want to comment on Trayvon. I think they have to go Trayvon Diggs. You're in the division with Aaron Rodgers. Xavier Rhodes stuck up the joint last year. I mean, you definitely have to go to corner. I mean, you got swept by Green Bay last year. You couldn't guard Devontae Adams. You definitely have to go to corner. I mean, you're in the division with Green Bay.
What do you think?
You got to go corner.
Vikings get a corner?
Yeah, I definitely think you got to
to
go corner. You're in the division with the Green Bay Packers. I mean, you got to have somebody cover Devontae Adams.
Dolphins gave me Tua Tagovailoa and Noah Ignomine to learn how to say on TV for the coming years. This is a tough names to say. I can't even say Tua yet. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you've been with me for 2 years covering Alabama, and you still can't say Tagovailoa.
Oh, I can't. It's tough. It's a tough one, man.
It's like saying Adetokounmpo.
Yep.
Who's that?
But
Giannis.
the Vikings,
Giannis.
if they don't go Trayvon Diggs, I wouldn't be surprised if they went Christian Fulton. Even though I think Christian Fulton has a lot of work to do, I think he has a lot of talent. But I was surprised if they went with him.
Yeah, the pick.
I think they go Diggs. I think he's more ready right now.
Yeah, Diggs. Hey, they
I
got.
agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, they didn't have
Yeah,
Diggs.
for a
Diggs.
playoff team, I think they would go more ready for a playoff team.
Yeah, because Stephon Diggs just left to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
And I can't wait to see Trayvon go against Stephon. That's gonna be great for TV.
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting. Oh, by the way, the NFL Draft 2021 will be hosted in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
So that will
It's amazing.
amazing.
It's amazing
They get a
to
redo.
to make it up.
But
Yeah,
the
make it up. Yeah.
redo.
That'll be fun. And they'll have their new stadium there. They can have their new stadium. So
Oh,
if
that
their new
stadium looks nice. I just looked at it tonight. It looked pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw some of the pictures that they have.
Looks better than like the LA stadium, Justin.
Anything went better than that. Rec league.
That's because the Chargers. That's because the Chargers aren't putting any money for the stadium.
Oh no.
I mean, the Chargers aren't putting in as much. They've had problem with the Chargers and Rams sharing the stadium because the Rams are saying they're putting in all the money. For the
Yeah,
stadium.
it kind of feels like it's more of a Ram stadium, more than
Yeah,
like
because
the
the Chargers don't draw well. That's not the Chargers just don't draw. They play in a soccer stadium. How much do you expect them to put in?
Vikings make their pick at number 31 and take TCU cornerback Jeff Gladney. What are your thoughts about that?
That's the guy that Tyler liked.
That's right.
I think he got that one right. Disappointed it's not Trayvon Diggs, so that's another guy that I'm not as surprised that they selected, but oh well.
Which he had Turner Cast had him going at number 38 to Carolina. So he went a little bit later in the round. Kylie, what are your thoughts about Gladney going to the Vikings?
I like it.
He's only 5'10".
He's a 5'10" corner.
I mean, he's small, but I like him. I like him. He has really good ball skills, even though he's 5'10". So I like the pick for them at 31.
Gladney is
Just at
fast,
the end
according to
of the
Ty Turner. Guys, if you're listening to this is the Sportscast NFL Draft Edition. I'd never had so much fun during a live event like this, and I thought we were going to stop at Jordan Love at number 26 of the show. We kept going because this is so exciting. It's because we haven't seen a sports event since The Last Dance. No, for like 2 months.
I know
Literally.
and it's really good for the process because regardless of what teams that they go to, like for these people, it's really life-changing for them and their families. So it's like great to see them like experience the moment with their families at home, even though it's not what they wanted being virtually, but it's still good to see for their families to like enjoy the moment.
Justin, why do you think like this whole 2-month hiatus of sports kind of kept us exciting for tonight? Is that why we're so energized?
Well, yeah, absolutely, man. Because you gotta think, man. Yeah, we just had a whole world ripped apart because of this pandemic. We had everything taken away from us sports-wise, and other
Even
avenues,
wrestling
too.
got bankrupt.
Well, but wrestling's still going on. Wrestling is still putting out their product, and that's the only form of sports that we've really had. And right now, during a desperate time, people are just reaching out for something that just even is remotely normal. And to have this event going on, it gives us that. Yeah, it's modified. It's been altered. It's a different kind of way than we're accustomed to. But it gives us something. And like Kyler just said, you're seeing them experience their lives being changed, and they're also doing it with their families, away from all the hoopla and the distractions and the camaraderie of it. They're at home. They're with their families. It's a more intimate setting, and it means more. And then down the road, when they're looking back, it's going to be something that really means a lot to them, and not just necessarily from a financial standpoint. Yeah, that makes a difference. But they're able to share this moment with their family, not the press, not the media, not a bunch of analysts or craziness. They're at home. That's a pretty big deal.
One running back we haven't talked about is Wisconsin's Johnathan Taylor. He could be selected for this last pick, right, Justin?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the guy was arguably one of the best running backs in the country. He's the guy that every week he was doing something pretty big. He's a guy that was in the Heisman race the entire year, and he may not have gotten the props he deserved because running backs aren't really as glorified as much as they used to be. But he's a great player, and he would be a solid pickup here for Kansas City, who does need an explosive runner.
How about Dobbins?
He's a good one too. I mean, you got some good ones here to choose
You
from.
got Dobbins, Swift, and Johnathan Taylor. Those are three
Johnathan Taylor. You got Cam Akers.
great running backs.
And then in the later rounds, you got Keyshawn Vaughn out of Vanderbilt, who's very underrated.
Man, I might come back tomorrow night. We'll see. Kylu, who should Kansas City take this last pick of the first round?
Like you said, and Justin greatly said, I definitely think they can go anywhere they want here. They can go running back here, get a veteran running back, plug in with their system and Andy Reid. And definitely, Andy Reid's been able to make everything work. So, I mean, they can definitely go there.
You don't think Williams at running back for Kansas City will be enough?
No, I think it's fine. But I think when you're coming off a Super Bowl and you're picking at 32, I mean, you can pretty much, you can pretty much at this spot, all the great players are off the board. I mean, there's still great players left. But, I mean, you can pretty much explore this pick if you're Kansas City. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you could pick like a person like like Nick Mongelli as the kicker.
Yeah, you can take a little bit.
Okay, breaking news. We didn't discuss this. Chiefs are taking LSU running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Wow, Justin Riley. We didn't talk about him, but he's a great running back.
Not tonight. This is something I had actually mentioned in our mock draft that could possibly happen.
Wow.
He's man, that guy he's a workhorse. He's got a motor that doesn't stop. Very motivated, very passionate. Just really played his best ball this past season. He didn't really have a great combine, but that shouldn't take away from his value at all. And he's a guy that can catch out of the backfield too. He's not one-dimensional. He's definitely a guy that you want on your team. I like this pick.
Kailu, what are your thoughts about the last pick that the Chiefs have selected? LSU running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I know you saw him play.
I thought he was, yeah, I saw him a lot. I thought he was second-round grade in my opinion. But for the Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl, I don't have as much of a problem with it because, like I said, when you get from 24 to 32, those are playoff teams. Those general managers typically know what they're doing. They have a lot of great experience that they're bringing to the table. So at 2, I mean, for me, he was more of a second-round prospect in my opinion. But when you're Kansas City and you're coming off hosting a Super Bowl, I don't have a problem with them. With the weapons that they have, I have no problem with that because Andy Reid will find a way to make it work. He's a great offensive mind, and with the receivers that they have, I mean, he'll have no problem averaging 3-4 yards a catch, 4 yards a catch.
So this is the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Got quarterback Patrick Mahomes, running backs Williams, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, tight end Travis Kelce, wide receivers Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, and DeMarcus Robinson. Good luck defenses. Wow, that's an icing on the cake. And an icing
the Legion of Zoom
to tonight's first round of the NFL Draft 2020. I was really excited. I mean, I've never felt so enthralled since the World Cup, to be honest. Really exciting. Closing words. We finished tonight. We'll go with Kailu first. What are your final thoughts of tonight's first round of the NFL Draft?
It was really good to see the prospects live their dreams. Also, something that we don't get to see often that was under the radar, seeing these general managers really at home with their kids. It was, something that you don't get a chance to see often, to see an extra real moment for them as well because they really work long hours and long days and 20-hour days. So it's really good to get a chance to see some of that as well and to see some of their personal. And I know everyone made a joke with Cliff Kingsbury and that house that he has. I don't know if you saw it, but
I saw it.
And
yeah.
Henry Ruggs wearing that bathroom robe. I thought that was really funny to wear in the draft, but yeah, just seeing those moments and seeing the prospects, live their dreams and really, change their lives and whatever situation they go to, making the most of it and working hard and seeing their families, really change for the better.
Justin Riley, we saw a lot of SEC players getting selected. What are your final thoughts of tonight's first round of the NFL Draft 2020?
A great time. Just glad that we have something of substance, sports-wise, on TV right now to watch and be involved with, other than Last Dance, of course. The SEC did what I expected them to do, and they dominated the first round. I can't, without looking, be able to tell you how many draft picks the SEC had cumulative, but just another outstanding show of just how talented this conference and how deep this conference is, and doesn't look like it's going away anytime soon. Very happy for Tua Tagovailoa, and that he was able to be selected high as initially projected, and that the water cooler talk and the gossip around him didn't affect the decision making of the coaches and the GM. I'm really glad to see that the teams like New York and the Jets and Giants and Cleveland addressed what they needed to the most, and that was offensive line. There were some head scratchers, but you always are going to get that with the NFL draft. It's just, part of the fun of it. But just a good time. Really excited to see what day 2 holds. I think day 2 will be as exciting as day 1 because there's just so much talent left on the board. But enjoyed it and glad to be a part of this.
There was a sigh of relief when I saw Tua at the getting picked at number 5. I'm sure Justin was because he he had him a little bit lower in the round because there were some doubts spreading through for the past couple of weeks. But Tua came up top. I think he was the winner tonight. People had doubts, but everyone, especially the Miami Dolphins, knew that this guy is special. His accuracy. Still on the board for tomorrow night. Yetter, Matos, Xavier McKinney, AJ Epineza, DeAndre Swift, T. Higgins, Anton Winfield, Zach Bond, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Johnson, Ezra Cleveland, Josh Jones, Ross Blacklock, J.K. Dobbins, Denzel Mims, Michael Pittman, and Trevon Diggs. A lot of talent to be spread throughout these next couple of days here at the NFL Draft. Anyways, guys, what is the best way to reach you online? Kailu.
They can reach me at CaillouBorden12 on both Twitter and Instagram to talk about the NFL Draft.
Justin Riley.
You can reach me at JustinRiley7 on Twitter, and then I help run the Sportscast Twitter and Instagram at the Sportscast1. So that's how you can reach me. So come talk to me about the NFL Draft or anything else that you have on your mind.
And you can reach us at thesportscast.net, thesportscast.net, or on Twitter at thesportscast1, thesportscast1. We'll have Kailu Borden tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern to recap round 1 of the NFL Draft 2020, and then we'll preview round 2 for tomorrow night, so it should be pretty exciting. Anyways, guys, really excited. Very exciting. Like the first NFL virtual draft. History is in the books. Guys, have a great night.
You too.
Appreciate it so much.